is the importance of test planning, and why do we need to do test planning?
Test plan, the term test plan is known as, it is a document where all the testing activities we plan. Like it is done by the test leader, and test leader make a plan and verify by the test manager. And it is all about the testing activity. We know about the basic, we know all about the project, what is software application. So there are different document activities involved in the document. First is like test plan introduction, test plan scope. We know about the scope and the objective of the test, and the exit criteria, entry criteria of the test, and suspension and reception, and function what to be tested, function not to be tested. And we also know the communication tools and test management tools, and we also know about the strategy, which level of testing we have to use. So right. It's all about test planning.
Right. Yeah. So overall, yes, you have explained the contents of that particular document. Things have evolved in terms of test planning with Agile coming in picture. Now, we do not make those detailed plans unless and until it is very, very necessary for the project. But test planning is important. So the key thing that you can mention here is that test plan will provide you the roadmap for the overall testing process, right? So it's basically nothing but, like in any terms, like if you want to do any course, or you want to usually say, for example, you're trying to find a job in software testing. If you do a proper planning, what you need to do day by day in terms of learning, applying the job, it becomes easier to achieve that goal, right? So that's in general your personal planning of succeeding in your professional career. Okay, getting the job and succeeding in a professional career. So planning in general is very necessary, and test planning is nothing different. So test planning is planning for the successful delivery of the quality product. So plan provides you the roadmap, so you can start from there, and then whatever you have mentioned in your answer, like all the key sections. So basically what you need to test, what you need to skip, right? So entry and exit criteria. So all of that gives you a clear indication what tools will be used, what sort of process will follow. So it brings everyone in the project on the same page, right? So that's where planning helps. Otherwise, things will be very scattered, right? If you don't have plan and you just say, okay, give me the build, I'll start testing. That doesn't work right like that, right? So that's the whole advantage. Okay. What is the difference between test scenario and test case?
Cases and test scenario. Test scenario is how what to be tested in the software application, and test cases is about how to test the particular functionality. Okay, and test scenario is like it is obtained by the use case, and the test case is obtained by the test scenario. Okay, and test scenario is a one-line information, and test cases are the detailed documentation about the what is the steps and data, and what is the actual result, and what is the expected result, and what is the objective of the project. And for example, we are taking for example register. We are taking a login page, and there is a button register. So register is a scenario, and the test cases for that register is like to verify the first name and the last name is filled by the user correctly or not. Mobile number is correct or not. To verify the mobile number is correct or not, and we check the date of birth are not blank. So it's all about test cases and test scenarios.
Right. Yeah. So absolutely correct. Like test scenario is high level, one liner, and when you get a functionality. So usually when you get a functionality to test, if you write the high level test scenario, it gives you a broad understanding about the functionality when you read the user story or the requirement, and then when you write the test scenario, you come up with the scenarios that could be covered to make sure the quality of that particular module or the application. So you write those scenarios and then you elaborate, and those elaborated, document for those scenarios is the test case. So absolutely correct. All right. What is a test execution, and when do you do the execution, and why do you do it?
So when we make the test cases, we execute that test cases and record the result. What the result is, pass or fail.
Mhm.
And there are steps to execute. There are steps to follow. We have to follow in the terms of test execution. First is verify the environment readiness, ready or not.
Mhm.
Second, we select one test case from the multiple test cases. After that, we execute that test cases. After that, we execute that test cases and log the result.
Mhm.
Log the result that when the test cases status got passed.
So what exactly do you do in the execution? When we said execute a test case, what you do?
We check the result. We track the result. Like test cases are to verify the test cases
Mhm.
are completed or not. Like in terms
So
of
how
functionality.
do you verify that?
By the execution cycle.
Right, execution cycle is okay. So like you'll create the cycle in your tool,
Yes.
to execute those test cases. But when we say execute the test, what usually a tester does, say I'll say to you, Divya, go ahead and execute the login module test cases. What you will do?
I will do there are five test cases written.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to enter valid username and valid password. So I enter the valid username and valid password and execute first test case. And second is invalid user and invalid password. So I execute that test case and check the result. What is the result?
Right. Yes. So in execution, what tester will do is, so basically you will launch the application and you will actually perform the actions that have been documented in the test case, right? That's the execution. When we say execution, it is you launch the application, whether it's desktop or web application, whatever, and then you will perform the steps that you have elaborated into your test case. And that's what execution is. And test execution, then you mentioned about the test cycle. So yes, you will create different test cycles depending on different builds that you will get, and do that further. Yeah, so that's absolutely correct. But just mention that you will actually perform those actions on the application. Why do we need to do regression testing?
Regression testing is important because we are testing a software. So if we find a defect, so we check the defect is solved or not. Okay. After resolve that defect, or we check if the defect is resolved, we check the defect is resolved, and also check the other functionality. That is there any impact of this defect? Previous functionality is not getting any impact of this. Like, so regression testing is all about if you find if you fixed any defect, or if you add any new module to your application, new functionality to your application. So in the end, we have to check all the previous modules. Like there is no impact of this new module are getting.
Absolutely, yes. So any change, so you have mentioned like any previous module or any defect fix. So any change basically in the code that has been done as part of the new functionality, performance improvement, or defect fix doesn't impact the existing functionality. That's absolutely correct. Great. All right.